So first, let's talk about Ziteboard. And Ziteboard is similar to Miro. It's similar to Explain Everything. It's just an unlimited size whiteboard with minimal features like your pen, your text box, your sticky notes. And you can export that board as a PDF or as an image, or you could share the URL permanently. So I'll go through the board itself, walk you through the initial layout of the board, and talk about the different subscription options that you have with Ziteboard. So here's Ziteboard, an online whiteboard with real-time collaboration, which we've seen from several other whiteboard resources that we've been talking about over the past few weeks. But let's actually dive into Ziteboard here. You can just click on the Start Drawing Now, or you can actually click Log In. So now that I'm in Ziteboard, you can see just a giant whiteboard. You can move left, you can move right, you can move up, you can move down. When you jump in, you've got your tools across the top right corner. You've got a pen tool, eraser tool, sticky notes, your movement tool, and your undo and redo buttons. So if you click on your pen tool, you'll see that you can increase the line size, you can increase your text size, you can change from drawing a line, a square, or a circle, and then you have 3 different colors, black, blue, and red. So when I move in here, if I just start to draw, it works easily. If I click somewhere and I just start to type on my keyboard, then it will just start to type whatever I'm trying to type on the keyboard. If I go to my eraser tool, I can easily just erase all of the things that I have drawn or all of the text box that I have tried to type in one quick little click. I don't have to erase each individual pixel. It just erases all of everything that I've done with my line, or in one instance, I should say. So if you're drawing something with multiple shapes and you're clicking and unclicking multiple times, you will have to use your eraser tool to erase each one of those lines that you have drawn. So you can see here that if I click the tool icon twice, it will open the panel. So I can click it twice, click it once, just selects it, clicking it twice opens the panel. If I long press on an item, so if I long press on this magic wand over here, then it gives me my different tools, so I can change the layers on the tool, I can lock the tool or rotate the tool. I can also grab the tool and I can also make the image or whatever it is that I'm trying to manipulate, I can make it larger. So I can drag and drop an image or insert from the menu. The menu is in the top left corner. I click on the menu. I can create a board. I can save my board. I can look at my boards in my dashboard. I can invite people to this board. I can insert an image, PDF, or an MP3. So let's look at that. If I click on that, I can insert an image from the web. So I just paste the link, or I can choose a file on my computer. And then if I choose the file, I can actually choose which pages, and I can also insert an image from my camera. If I click on the little gear next to the X to X out of this, I have the option to look at my front camera or my rear camera. So if you have a Chromebook with multiple cameras on it, or you have a laptop with multiple cameras, then you can change the view of the camera to which you are trying to insert on the board. I also can export my board, so I can export it as a PNG, SVG, PDF, and then if I go to the Pro version, I can actually download the full board as a backup file. And then I also have the option to send the file via my email. If I have any questions about how to use Ziteboard, ziteboard.com/FAQ for the frequently asked questions. So let's look at the hotkeys. If I grab my movement tool, I'm going to slide the board over, and you can see here one of the first hotkeys is my line tool, and if I type LL, it automatically changes, and up in the top left corner next to the hamburger, you can see that my line is on, and so now I can just draw a line. So I can do my arrow tool, so I choose AA, and then it will allow me to draw my arrow tool. So it has line and arrow are both on, so I can do a line and an arrow. If I choose RR, then I can do a rectangle. If I do CC, I can do a circle, and if I do LLAA, then I get my straight arrow. And if I do LL and I turn my arrow off, then I can move, I can make a roundabout arrow, and my arrow tool can be any way that I need to make my arrow move around. If you don't remember the hotkeys, because the hotkeys do not stay on your Ziteboard, you can actually go up to your pen tool and you can turn off your tool. So you just go and you click your pen, you can turn off your arrow tool very, very easily. But if you do remember your hotkeys and you type AA, then it just goes back to freehand. And you'll see what tool you're on because it stays up in the top left-hand corner. So I'm going to take my movement tool and I'm going to move down to the bottom. But first, over on the right-hand side, you can see that I have my zoom in zoom out, and then my home button. If I click my home button, it actually recenters me back on the board. So I have my movement tool on, and I'm going to slide down, and we're going to look at some more options here in the Ziteboard. So one of the challenges here is to place a dot anywhere on the canvas and start typing, which I kind of showed you how to do that. Long press on a text, and if selected, press any key. After that, I can edit the text. I showed you how to do the long press. So they have some challenges here for you to really work with the board. We did find the home icon in the middle of the right-hand side of the screen, and then you can see it will go back to the original position. I told you about that. After you've inserted an image, you can lock it, and I showed you how to do that. So if we do a long press on the image, here is our lock. We also have our edit tool. So I can change the color on my tool. Maybe I want to make it this kind of yellow color here, and then I can increase the font size as well. Or decrease the font size. So you kind of decide how you want to edit the tools. We've got all of the tools here available. There is even a spell check here because I have Grammarly installed. So this was pre-made template that I have. So with screen sharing here, it says find the mirror view option at the bottom right corner and turn it on. If it is on, the team members will constantly see the same position of the canvas, meaning you control what everybody sees when you've shared your board. To put the board away, your screens will be synced. Since different devices usually have screens with different dimensions, a dashed line indicates the area that everyone sees. There must be a lot of traffic right now on Ziteboard because I am unable to share. I am on the free version, and so right now, because there must be too much data on the site, I am unable to share my screen. But I'll show you down here in the screen sharing view. So here's the mirror view, there's a laser pointer, and then here's the invite people, but because the data traffic limit of the free plan has been reached, I am unable to create new boards or even share my board out at this point. So let's look at the pricing part here. So you can see I'm under the starter version, which is free forever. So boards owned by me is 3. Unlimited amount of shared boards, unlimited amount of real-time collaboration. And here's this limited data traffic. So if I go down here and find the starred version, it says eliminates data traffic limitation for non-pro users. So I think there's just maybe too much data, or I've used too much data on the board. I'm not 100% sure what that means, but I'm unable to show you how to share it or what it looks like when you have multiple people on the board. I'm allowed the 3 colors, which I showed you was black, blue, and red. I do have sticky notes. I can import images, PDFs, the first page of a PDF, and I can also export as a PNG, SVG, and a PDF. So the pricing for Ziteboard, not too bad, $5 for 1 week pro. So if you know you're going to be using it for a limited amount of time, or if you want to use it monthly, you can. Annual subscription is probably the best if you know you're going to be using it constantly throughout the year. The annual pro version is probably your best option. So again, in Ziteboard, I just click on the little hamburger. I can go to my boards, and then you'll be able to see all of the boards that you have. And I can't create new boards right now because my data traffic limit has been reached. So that Ziteboard, I'll hit my home button one more time to kind of take us back to where we were, but it's a nice effective tool if you're just kind of looking for a nice easy whiteboard to show your students. Maybe you're working with them through distance learning. Maybe you want to use it in your classroom. Maybe you have some sort of digital whiteboard in your classroom and you just want a whiteboard, you don't have any software for it. Ziteboard is a wonderful little tool for easily just writing on your whiteboard.